Hey guys, this is Primeval. I'm back with my playthrough of Deity Challenge 12. This is part 6. You can see our capital city burning in the background here. So, the Persians in the last video picked a really good time to attack us. They were setting their army up, and then right after we captured the Spanish capital and took a major hit to our happiness, we went into extreme unhappiness. I think we were at minus 14, and once you hit 10 or greater unhappiness, then your units fight at reduced strength. And they took this opportunity to go and attack us. We lost 2 of our workers and a composite bow, and then eventually Truro. And so right after they launched their attack, I really wanted to fix that unhappiness situation so that my combat units would fight at full strength. And so as a result, we had to go and declare war on Alexander, as well as acquire Ragusa as a city-state. And that's actually working out pretty well here, since Alex's units were already heading towards us. They were around Ragusa, and they were already pretty hostile to us, so they were probably on their way to attack us anyways. So we declared war on them and got our truffles back. That did, however, make Korea upset with us because they were friends with the Greeks. Anyways, demographics-wise, we are in second last place on soldiers here, but we do have a fairly efficient army at the moment. A lot of nice range units, and a lot of them are starting to get some nice promotions. So as the Persian army rampaged through our lands, our countryside, hitting Truro first and then heading towards our capital, we ended up racing our army home after making peace with the Spanish. Running back from our conquests at Madrid, we returned home with some of our army ready to intercept the Greek force, and the rest coming to rescue our capital. During this whole period, we managed to get a little more gold rolling by selling a whole bunch of our luxuries to Rome. Lucky for us, we do have good relations with both Rome and Babylon, and Rome often has a lot of money, at least every time we've gone to go and check who we can trade with. So let's go and turn the turn over. We missed out on the Petra. We're 5 turns away from completing the Oracle, and so if we get the Oracle, we'll be able to finish out the last policy on liberty a lot sooner than we would normally. And we can use that Grand Engineer to grab Machu Picchu, which will be a huge help in terms of our gold per turn, because we are planning to have a rather large puppet empire as we progress. So we're going to go and take out Persia, and then depending on whether or not the Greeks will offer us a nice peace deal, we might have to go and hit them next. So that means a lot of puppets and a lot of trade routes, and if we can go and get extra gold from those trade routes, as well as straight up extra gold from the wonder itself, that will be excellent. Now, it's possible that we'll miss out on the Oracle and won't even get the Great Engineer as soon as we need it for Machu Picchu, or that an AI will build Machu Picchu before we can go and speed that up with our engineer. And so we still don't have our National College, and if all of the wonders are gone by the time we get that Great Engineer, we can use him to speed build our National College. So I think we are set up here. I think I remember everything that happened last time. There are no little details that I've forgotten about, I hope. So let's go and turn the turn over. Spain is denouncing us, and which is understandable. We took their capital, so very well, Isabella. And here, another immortal broke itself against our walls. We lost our trade route to Cardiff. They finally went and pillaged one of our tiles. So this game, the AI hasn't been really big on pillaging tiles. I have definitely experienced games where they are very good at pillaging, so I'm not sure what determines how aggressive they get with the pillaging, but they certainly haven't been very aggressive in this game. Okay, so should we take out the Persian Immortal first, or this Spearman? I don't think we can actually kill the Spearman with just the one archer, although if we get lucky with the random number generator, we can. It's only a differential of 2 points. We got it. Excellent. Let's go and take down these guys. 34 versus 30. And I'll take out this guy. We should probably go and bring our Pictish warrior back home. Versus a pikeman, things aren't looking the greatest. Okay, so there's Argos. Isabella had gone to war with the Greeks, and it looks like they've captured a city here. Let's see how many cities they have. They have just their capital, which I believe is Barcelona, and Argos. So here we can keep a small contingent over by Madrid, at least until they heal up, and then after that we might go and send them to somewhere more relevant, at least where the action is. But I think since Persia was fairly quick to go back to war with us after making peace, that might also be the pattern that Isabella takes. She, at the moment, is the weakest on military and on pretty much all the other metrics, so she won't be as much of a threat. Okay, so we can go and repair the other citrus here. If we wanted to build a camp, that would be 5 turns, so we definitely want to go and head over to the citrus and get that done first, as our repair job is much faster than building a new improvement. Everything else looks fine, so on to turn 93. And the Persians did nothing. Ragusa and the Greeks are trading a bunch of damage here, but they are holding out fairly well. They've got 2 composites, a pikeman, and a spearman, and Greece's units seem to have fled Ragusa, so that's good to see. Here we can get some more intel on what Spain's up to, and also move our Pictish warrior over and around to the rest of our troops. Get to work on that citrus, and here we don't have roads or bridges from engineering, so if we crossed that river we would use up all of our movement. We have enough faith to purchase a unit. It's probably a scout. We don't need another scout, and I think I had a scout up here healing up. Yeah, next turn he'll be at full health, and we can continue exploring there. So, it looks like we're getting the Persian army under control now that our main attack army has returned to the capital, with Persia's capital being only at 18 strength. I think the Spanish capital was considerably stronger. Our current contingent of composite bows should be more than enough to deal with Persia, so long as Alexander's units don't cause too much trouble for us. So there the Persian units are starting to retreat. I think the main army will just push over this way to attack Persia from above. Meanwhile, on their way there, they can go and deal as much damage as they can to the Greek army. Okay, so we also want to make sure we chase the Persians away and kill as many units as we can along the way. We'll have two forces here, a northern force that will deal mostly with the Greeks, and then a southern force that will deal with the Persians, and each of them has their own great general, so that worked out pretty nicely. Our gold deal has ended, and salt. So Korea's not very happy with us, so we probably won't be able to reform those deals. We can go see if we can sell one of those resources to probably Rome, since they do have the most money there. So Rome is making 57 gold per turn. That's pretty healthy. We can sell them gems, and I think we will do exactly that. If all goes well, we'll be finishing the oracle next turn. We just finished a Pictish warrior here. Let's go and grab ourselves another one. And here, I think we'll go into Madrid to heal up a little faster. And guess we can explore these lands a little more. That's a decisive victory, but it puts us in range of Truro, so we'll just wait there for now. And next turn. Alright, so someone's gone and built the Hagia Sophia. Korea has a religion. Someone's also built the Chichen Itza. The Persians decided that they were only going to do a temporary retreat, and they're back out, although this retreat, or this attack, looks much weaker than the last one. Bucharest wants us to pledge to protect them. Where is Bucharest? Way over here. That could sour some of our relations with our key trading partners right now, so I'm not going to worry about that. Quebec City is happy with us now because we hooked up salt, so that's cool. Ragusa, we might need to go and throw some money at them. Our influence is declining at 1 per turn, so we have one more turn before we need to throw money at them. And Edinburgh can go. And shoot that archer. So this guy doesn't have experience. I would like him to gain some experience, but I don't want him to die. I guess since the road was pillaged, that used up all of our movement. I was hoping to get a range attack off there. and based on how our various tiles got stepped on, our oracle is actually still one turn from completion. Let's see, what else do we have? So we've got this barbarian encampment. We can leave that until we get a quest from one of these city-states. We got the citrus online, so we have 5 extra happiness to play with, and that's definitely a good thing. We will eventually annex Madrid, but in the meantime, we should probably go and build ourselves some trading posts. We can also go and see what Korea's up to. Looks like they've puppeted some cities here. Okay, so we are working our way towards crossbows. Although that will take us quite some time, given our abysmal tech rate. We are going to need that national college soon. Alright, next turn. Darius is now offering us peace big time. Let's see. That does appear to be everything. Oh, it's not all of his gold per turn, so I don't think so. Harold wants to buy our gold here. That seems reasonable to me. Perhaps we'll sell the citrus for 240. We did go and lose a composite bow there, and we completed the oracle, so that's all very nice. And we do need to go and throw some money at Ragusa, although if we can get spices from somewhere, that will be more effective. So Korea's not going to trade with us, and they are the only AI with spices, and none of the city-states have spices. Trade spices for salt and truffles. All my resources, no. We'll just go and pay Ragusa directly here. Just the 250 I think will be fine. We probably need that money for other things. Okay, so Ragusa now has 3 composite bows, but it looks like they're about to lose their pikemen here. We do want to continue our advance on the Persians. Okay, so it looks like the Koreans do have a lot of land. Up next is the policy we want to adopt. We're going to go and finish off Liberty. So the Greeks have enhanced their religion. Colossus has been built. Salt deals, gold deals, and there's our oracle. So let's go and open meritocracy and grab ourselves a great engineer. Okay, so the great engineer is going to go and hang out. Okay, is that safe? I don't see any mounted units, so I'm going to risk having our great person out in the open here, because we want to go and build Machu Picchu when we discover guilds, and the only place we can build that is Dublin. Actually, we could also build it in Cardiff, since there is the mountain within 2 tiles, but I'm not sure if it also needs to be in our cultural borders. So the safest bet here is Dublin. It's also farther away from any front lines. So up next, we're probably going to want more units. A national college is going to take 15 turns. If we miss out on Machu Picchu, we will build the national college. Though right now, I think we're going to need some more composite bows. And since we are on the composite bow track, I think I will set us up to auto purchase. Well, we could use another Pictish warrior. Let's auto purchase a Pictish warrior, just in case we forget about that. Everything looks fine here. We do have excess salt, so we'll want to go and sell that. Let's see now. Harold, Caesar, Nebuchadnezzar. Caesar's bought all of our luxuries, so it's on to Babylon. What will you give me for the salt? 119 and 4. What about 5? Okay, you drive a hard bargain, but that is fine with me. Okay, on to the next turn. Hopefully there isn't some hidden fast-moving unit that can ignore rough terrain and will run in here. We just lost another composite bow, I think. Oh no, our composite bow killed an immortal in hand-to-hand combat. So that's nice. Our peace treaty with Isabella has just ended, and we just purchased a Pictish warrior. So I'll turn off the auto purchase now. Oh, and we purchased it all the way up there. So that's, I guess, one downside of doing the auto purchase. We can't pick the city that it spawns in. Although, well, let's go and repair that. But although I think we got it as a active unit ready to move right away, whereas if we had purchased it manually, that might not have been the case. Oh, it's out of moves. It just doesn't have the grayed out icon. Okay, so there's no special functionality by doing the automatic purchase other than preventing us from forgetting about making that purchase. All in all, it was actually a bad idea since it spawned in a more distant city. I would have purchased it in Cardiff if I had done that manually. Okay, so looks like the Greeks are starting to retreat their army here. We can heal up in Edinburgh, and I guess now is the time to start advancing on Truro. Okay. Okay, so we nearly lost a composite bow here, but that did grant it a bunch of experience, and now it can go and run away to safety. Go set up and start our attack. We should have moved the Great General into range first for some bonus damage. Okay, so the Greeks are retreating and Ragusa has a nice defensive army here. Let's go and chase the Greeks. Do what damage we can. Okay, so that Pictish warrior is now fully healed, as is our composite bow. We can do a bit of scouting on Barcelona, and then should we keep a force here to protect Madrid? 2 units might not do the trick, so they might be more useful joining up with the rest of the army. Next turn we should grab guilds, and that'll allow us to start construction on Machu Picchu, and we can use the Great Engineer to finish that in 1 turn. Now, when we take back Truro, that'll put a dent into our happiness, so I don't know if I want to go and sell off any more luxuries just yet. Harold has declared war on Darius. We might want to go and pay Korea to declare war on Harold, just so that they don't spend everything on infrastructure and get too far ahead on tech. We are lowest on tech, a good 7 techs below the average, and even worse compared to the leader. Yeah, so Korea doesn't like us, but how much will it cost for them to go to war? It's not going to happen. Okay. Okay, so we just entered the medieval era. We do need to get into the Renaissance so we can go and unlock rationalism, but given our tech rate, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Some of the other AIs should be entering the Renaissance soon, so we'll get a spy, and that'll help us catch up if we stick that spy into a highly populated city. So, first off, let's go and see if we can get Truro back. Here, our Pictish warrior might die, but we have another one on the way. Alexander still has units running around. And we'll just keep our guys in formation here. Okay, so okay, I guess someone beat us to Machu Picchu a while ago. Global politics. Or the Uluru doesn't count as a mountain after all. So that was kind of foolish of me. I was fairly certain the Uluru counted as a mountain. So let's go and train ourselves another composite. We'll go and run our Great Engineer over here and change production. These guys can't build Machu Picchu either, but if we went and bought the mountain, maybe we could. So we'll wait for the Great Engineer to get there, and then perhaps we'll buy the mountain and go for Machu Picchu. But that's pretty frustrating. I was fairly certain that you could build Machu Picchu on top of the Uluru. Okay, so off from guilds, we want to go and grab machinery. That's 20 turns. And we need to make something happen with our army before we... Okay, so the Persian capital is now a lot stronger. They might have entered a new era and maybe built a castle or something. So we might actually need crossbows, or at least... yeah, so the Persian capital is a lot stronger now. It looks like we'll be able to take Truro next turn, unless our Pictish warrior gets captured, or killed rather, by the 3 range attacks. But I think this is where we'll stop the video, and I'll see you in part 7.